right? So partnerships or collaborations. So this is something else also you can think about when you're looking at differentiating your product and also just adding that extra value. So for example, our toilet seat, we're the only seat that's been approved by the pediatric floor therapist, and she works with kids. So she got our product, she went through it, she tested it at her hospital, and she approved it, right? So that's a collaboration. That's something that we can add on our website. That's something we can add on our Amazon listing, etc. Right? So for example, partnerships or collaborations could either mean that. So you find someone to collaborate with where they recommend your product and you're the only one that does that. Or partnerships could mean, let's say you were looking at, and this is a very advanced strategy in terms of partnerships, but it's way ahead of its time. And there are some people that do it here and there, but it works brilliantly. Let's say, for example, you're going to launch a toothpaste, right? So you decide to launch a toothpaste, and you can, by the way, I mean, I think you can launch any product as long as it has demand, and this is done really right? So if you're looking at launching a toothpaste and you're good friends with your dentist, that'd be a perfect partnership, right? So you start to manufacture the product, the dentist, your friend that you're in partnership with is the one that recommends it, he's the one that tests it, make sure it's good. Now you have the only toothpaste that is actually made by yourself and an actual dentist, right? So I'd rather buy your charcoal toothpaste that's on the shelf, that's got the photo of you and your dentist, or it's got the photo of your actual dentist, and it tells the story and why you created it, because you realized that the activated charcoal and most toothpaste was actually, not enough activated charcoal to whiten your teeth, and the dentist looked at it and, and you tell your story around it. And now that's a great partnership, right? Because you're partnering with someone who has specific expertise in that particular niche, right? So if you're looking at let's think of another one. Let's see. If you're looking at products that were in the IT niche, let's say the gaming niche, for example, that's a pretty big niche, and you were looking at bringing out a gaming product or a gaming, let's say, packaging of some sort, then you partnered with a gamer, right, who actually used it. So this is someone who's a gamer, who's in this space, who's got a YouTube channel, right? And they actually use, and you partner with them, and you reach out to them and say, hey, I noticed they're using this particular, camera or this particular console or joystick, whatever you want to call it. And check out this packaging that I created, and you partner with them. Well, that's a perfect collaboration, right? Because you're partnering with someone that's actually an expert in that particular field or that particular space, right? So that's a really, really cool thing, and something that you can really do. For example, if you were to go to Vietnam and you have a look and you say, I want to start to do coconut oils, and from Vietnam, the ones that are produced from Vietnam, well, your partnerships would be the actual suppliers, right? So you could do partnerships with the actual suppliers. You can tell the story of the actual farmers, right? You can ensure that a certain percentage of your profits go towards, helping kids go to school there and things like that, right? That'd be a great partnership to actually do. So there was even Tom's Shoes. I'm not sure if you guys know it. Tom's Shoes, basically, what his marketing strategy was, it was 1 for 1. So every time you buy his shoes, he's going to give one away for free to someone who needs shoes in South America, right? So, and he partnered with initiatives and charities and things like that so he can distribute them. So there's a lot of way that you can do partnerships and collaborations. And again, it's a really advanced strategy to really separate yourself from everyone else. Personalized options. So this is another thing also that's, again, very, very understated. So personalized options is if you're selling a leather wallet, right, you can actually create a listing on Amazon that says, I can personalize this for you, right? It's called the handmade section. It's in Amazon USA, and it's still untapped. There's only about 3,000 listings there, and they sell for a lot. So what that means is if you're selling a leather wallet and someone can come to your listing and say, hey, I want to buy this for a gift, I would like the name Jared on the actual wallet, right? So what they'll do is they'll engrave the name and then they'll ship it off to the customer. Now, obviously, that's a little bit more of a complicated process. But again, if it's something that you want to do it. You can actually figure anything that you want out, right? If something is challenging, move towards it. Usually there's a golden bucket at the end of that rainbow, right? So ensure that you do that. Another thing is variations. So I touched on that briefly. So that is, I mean, we have like 9 or 10 different animals now in our kids' toilet seats. We spoke about variations on the plant watering globes, where I started basically making it available for people to buy just the all green ones, all red ones, different sizes. So again, that is a way to differentiate your product. I highly, highly, highly recommend variations, even with your first product, right? The first product that you're looking at, try to get 2 or 3 variations if you can. But again, we'll cross that road once we get there. I believe it's a very good idea to do that because most sellers don't do many variations. And the ones that do, usually you find a lot of them always in the bestseller section. Even Smart Sweets, if you look at their particular business, they didn't create just one gummy lolly. They created a variation of gummy lollies, right? Because it's hard to know exactly what people are going to like. So for example, with our kids' toilet seats, if we just created the cheetah and no one bought it, we'd think that the product is actually a failure, but it's not. It just means that no one liked the cheetah, right? But what happens, a lot of people would launch just one color of one specific product, doesn't sell well, they think they failed. No, they didn't fail. It's just they had the wrong color, right? So adding variations is a good way to test the market and to know what your customers like. And most of the time, what you think is going to happen doesn't actually happen when it comes to colors. I'll give you an example. We were selling products in the gifting niche, and we thought black. You know, it was like stainless steel tumblers, and we're selling black, silver ones, navy ones, beautiful like a khaki green. And we're thinking, you know, these are the best colors. No, the best color was like a fuchsia pink, which is like a purple pink, and this really not nice pale blue. It wasn't even pastel. It was like just this ugly blue, and they were the best selling, and a purple one was the best selling, right? So what we thought was we were going to make this product premium, but actually no, they liked the other colors better, right? So again, if we didn't have a number of variations, we would have not known that. If we just launched a couple of them, the black and the gray, and thinking, okay, it's not working, but actually it did work, right? So that's also another thing. Design and artwork. So this is again, creating design artwork, just like we create for the seats, we create different variations with the actual design and the actual artwork.